Hey guys, this is Miriam at High Life Auto. I am out doing a video test drive on a vehicle, on a 2009 Chevy Equinox. If you've never been on my video test drives before, the way it works is I drive the vehicle on video and I tell you what I see, hear, think, smell, and feel to give you the best indication of being in the driver's seat without actually being in the driver's seat. I'm not a mechanic and this is not meant to be a 182-point inspection. Rather, it's meant to be a sneak peek into how the vehicle drives and any potential issues I notice as we're going along. So we'll take a look around the vehicle, we'll take a look under the hood, and then we'll go for a drive. So, here we go. Alright, Chevy Equinox, this is the old body style. I think before they put the 3.6 motor in and they all went to crap. If you've had an Equinox, you know what I'm talking about. So, pretty decent looking as far as dents, dings, rust, that kind of thing. It's a little bit dirty, needs a wash, but it's not bad at all. Tires are pretty good. I can't find the wear bars, but they've got to be at least 75% tread in the rear. Front is not as good, I can tell just from looking, and we're at probably, there's a wear bar, probably about 35% in the front. And let's see, inside we've just got cloth and it's been vacuumed. Now you've got a couple stains and stuff on there, so I mean, if you really wanted it clean, you could either, you know, put seat covers on, or let me fix my thing. Either put seat covers on, or you might have to do some shampooing or something and get this going. Okay. And in the back, looks like you've got lots of room back there, and again, you've got some stains on the carpet, but it's not horrible. Pretty decent looking body in the back. It's got your tow hitch. And then you've got some storage room in the back for whatever it is you want to haul. Alright, over here, again, same body condition. As far as dents, dings, rust, scratches, that kind of stuff, it looks pretty decent. And from the front, it looks like you've got a little hole in the grill right there. But other than that, it looks like it's doing pretty good for 16 years old. Alright, there is a crack in the windshield. I can see that right up on the top. It doesn't look like it's in the driver's view. Okay. Here is your motor. Sounds like it's doing good. Started right up. All the fluids look good when I checked them earlier. Alright, before we get in, we're going to check this little RF right here. Means the auction said rusty frame. And what that means nowadays, you know, it used to mean rusty frame. Now, it could mean rusty rockers, it could mean rusty, it could mean rusty anything. So we're just going to get underneath here and see what we can see. And then I tell people, obviously, get underneath and see what you see. So we've got rusty rockers. That's common in the Midwest. You're going to get that unless you get it out of the factory and undercoat it. So that's what we're doing to my mother-in-law's vehicle. She got it from Texas, and we are undercoating it before winter hits. But I mean, otherwise it looks like you've just got surface rust. I mean, you got rust, but nothing that's penetrating. Like, that's surface rust, but that's solid. This is your frame. This is like what's holding your car, and that looks to me like that's solid. Again, you're welcome to check. Get underneath here. Check me out. I think I've had bad vision since like 5th grade, but you know, that's why I put the camera under here, and that's why I told you to check. Okay. And on this side, again, rusty rockers. Surface rust on the frame rail, but doesn't look like there's any penetrating integrity rust. Looks like surface rust up there on the K-frame type thing, but again, it doesn't look like any penetrating type integrity rust. So that's what I've got. See what you think, and we'll go from there. Alright, so that's what the auction said, and then I'll tell you what else the auction said, because they said a bunch of things on this one. Alright, let's get in. And I turned the air conditioning on before I got out, which is good. Air conditioning works, radio works, you can hear those two. You can see that's flashing. That's not actually flashing, that's just It's just a product of the camera and the radio. For whatever reason, they do that. All right. Auction said rusty frame, which we already talked about. They said that there was a burnt oil smell, but they didn't have a visible oil leak. Again, I haven't seen a visible oil leak. I have not smelled any oil either, so we'll see what we see as we're going. They said there's a wheel bearing noise, an ABS light, a service stability track light, and cracked windshield. Cracked windshield right there, again, right up on the top. Shouldn't be a problem for most states except Missouri. They're going to require that to be fixed. ABS light, service stability track light, those are going to be directly in proportion to the wheel bearing noise. And that's what I'm hoping that, I mean, we'll hear the wheel bearing noise, but also I'm hoping that this will tell me which wheel bearing, because a lot of times it will have a corresponding speed sensor that is messing up. So we'll see if that comes back with anything. But okay, while we're waiting on that, we have almost a full tank of gas, which is cool. ABS lights, service stability track light, no check engine lights, service traction control, again, same lights. They're all pretty much one light. It's just they make it difficult. 115,000 miles on there. Oh, hey, look, your tire pressure things. Let's see. Did it actually work? 98% oil life, so the oil was just changed, and it looked like it. I checked the oil this morning. Left front, right front. How do you get to the? Oh, I don't know how you get to the other ones. Oh, there they are. Okay, so yeah, and I filled up the tires, so that's about accurate. I filled them up to about 40, and then I take the gun thingy off, so that's about right. So your tire pressure sensors work. All right, let me get my seatbelt light. Let me get my seatbelt on. Not my seatbelt light on. We have a sunroof. Let's see if this thing works. Sunroof works. We'll do our windows. Oh, windows are here in the old Equinoxes. Driver's side window works. That's the rear driver's side window. Rear driver's side window works. Rear passenger side window works. And passenger side window works. All right. I'm gonna do smart detection and see what we've got on there. All right, and we're gonna go take it for a drive while the computer is working. I'll get this cord out of my way so that I don't get a cord wrapped around my foot. It's never fun. Okay, here we go. Let's do this thing. I know the auction said wheel bearing noise. If you've never done a wheel bearing before, I think that was probably one of the first jobs that I learned how to do. It was a YouTube job. There was the noise right there. It's probably one of the first noises I learned how to identify as well. It is loud and it's scary, but it's really not that loud and scary if you just realize what it is, and you realize how easy it is to fix. So there's the noise right there. There is a wheel bearing noise, obviously. When we get to the top of the hill, we'll try and identify which one it is by moving side to side. And then we'll try and identify which one it is by the scanner as well. But other than that noise, it's driving pretty well. And I know that's going to turn off a lot of people. They're going to be like, oh, nope, I can't do it. And this is one of those that you just have to be like, all right, I know the cover of the book is ugly, and I know the book is long, and I know it's got a lot of big, long words that I don't understand, but it's a good book. So that's my thinking right there. Okay, so we're going to get up and going. We're going to do our turn signals. Right turn signal works. We're going to do that one right now because we're going to get over in the right-hand lane. We're going to do our windshield wipers. Those are wipers. I ran out of fluid, so we'll see if there's any fluid. There should have been fluid in there, but let's see. How do you do the fluid? There's the fluid. Holy cow, that comes out with a lot of fluid. It only comes out in one spot, but it comes out with a lot of fluid. So the fluid works, and the wipers work, and the cruise may or may not work with the those up, but it does work. Cruise works. Sometimes when you have those wheel bearing things, cruise will not activate just as a safety thing, but it certainly does. Brakes are good and solid, no grinding or vibration. So really, so far, all we have going on is a wheel bearing noise. And let's see, we're gonna go, okay, so we're gonna go to the passenger side, go to the driver's side. Okay, so if you listen, it gets worse when I go over to the passenger side. I go over to the driver's side, it gets better. So when I put more weight on the passenger side, it gets worse. There we go. So I think, by my non-professional professional opinion, taught by the great and mighty Bill Scanlon, it is the front passenger wheel bearing that is the problem. And so 95% chance you replace that wheel bearing, you get rid of the noise, you get rid of the lights on the dash, and voila, you're fixed. So that's what's there. And I think, oh, we gotta check our left turn signal. Left turn signal. Okay. Left turn doesn't want to stay on. It does work, but it doesn't want to stay on. So you just kind of hold it on, which just is kind of like an anti-idiot light protection for those of you who like to leave your turn signal on. So if you have any questions, my cell phone is 309-267-7200. When I get to the bottom of the hill, I'm going to do a little bit of checking on the scanner and see if it also identifies the front right wheel speed sensor, and I will take pictures of that and add them to the pictures of the car. But for the most part, I think you've got a pretty decent looking car. You got a lot of scary disclosures that the auction tried to scare you with, but really, I don't think they're very scary at all. I think it's just like a big old scary whatever. I don't think it's scary at all. So I think this is really a decent vehicle that runs and drives good. If you got any questions, my cell phone, I think I already gave it to you. If not, it's everywhere. 309-267-7200. Thanks, guys.